Isn't that
Should I
beautiful?
click go live?
Yeah.
Inside. Yo.
Is there any better way to test your audio? No, I'll tell you that.
We're live. We're live, yo. Good morning to the first NFL Sunday. Me and AJ were making videos last night till mad late, so we're both running on about 2 hours sleep. And the DoorDash guy brought me a sugar-full Red Bull. Who drinks sugar-full Red Bulls in 2022? It's not the sugar-free Red Bulls.
The guy has no care for your black psoriasis. Unbelievable. He would deliver.
I'm thinking about opening up. I'm thinking about pursuing some kind of lawsuit against DoorDash and against him personally.
Well, Toast is an attorney over there in Alaska. We call him up.
Oh, is Toast an attorney?
Yeah.
What are the odds that Toast wakes up in time to jump into these comments? I'd say slim to none.
Oh, no shot.
Buddy's waking up at 5 p.m. Eastern.
He went savage on the MLB.
Yeah, he killed it, right? And of course, I didn't even tail his picks yesterday, too. Yo, did we finish in the green in college football, Sean? I think we actually did.
Yeah, by 0.5 units.
Yeah, because I did the math quick last night before bed, and I was like, yo, we're in the green. It felt like we got smacked, but then we went like 10-2 with our last 12 bets. So
yeah, I'm posting the results as soon as we're off here. But yeah, we went plus 0.5, and then Toast went plus 5.07 units.
Oh, holy shit. Toast made 5 units last night?
Yeah.
Holy tits.
Oh my god. I gotta give him some.
I
gotta give him some kind of congratulatory tweet. Actually, no. You know what? No, I don't. Yo, so we got a lot of NFL games, and I got friends coming over in a couple hours. I got the VIP ready to post. Let's start. First game we're doing is Ravens at Jets. Prop Beaver. That's what we want to do.
Yeah, I just want to address a quick concern. So when I'm typing these, there's only one typing bar for my center picture. How do I add the other two?
Control-C, Control-V on that layer in the layers panel of Wirecast. Control-C, Control-V. You're copying and pasting the layer and adding another one. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. All right, thank you.
You are most welcome, sir. So, right. Ravens, Jets. Sean, why don't you start?
Super simple for me in this one. The Jets are down 2 starting tackles. They're going to be relying on DeFossil and Joe Flacco back there at quarterback. This Ravens defensive line should be able to harass them. The Ravens might have the best secondary in football with Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton, the rookie out of Notre Dame. And then you also have Marcus Williams, who they signed from the Saints back there. I'm being dead serious when I say this. I don't know if the Jets reach the red zone at any point this game. To be completely honest with you, I know pretty much everyone's going to be on the Ravens in this game, but sometimes these are just unavoidable situations by Vegas, and there's nothing they can do about it. This is just a complete mismatch, and I'm personally hammering the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, you could see this line way back when opened up at plus 3.5 or plus 4 or some shit like that. I think it was plus 4.5 actually. But regardless, if you rewind 2 months ago, before Mekhi Becton injury, before all the bullshit that happened with the offensive line, there's a lot of people that were big on the Jets coming into the season. I'm not going to say I was one of them, but I definitely did see some upside there. Definitely not seeing it in this game. I'm on Baltimore for sure. If you watch the YouTube video for this one that I put up, I put all of my notes into it. But exactly what Sean said, they got their right tackle sliding over to play left tackle because technically both left tackles on their depth chart are out. The guy starting at right tackle, AJ told me about him. He's a Jets fan. His name's Max Mitchell, and he's a 4th-round draft pick. He's a rookie. I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to protect Joe Flacco at all, even if Joe Flacco was mobile. Joe Flacco is not mobile. I really don't see it. I'm all over Baltimore.
All right, so I actually got some player props for the peoples because I love what I'm seeing here. I'm going with Elijah Moore over 4.5 receptions, and I'm also going with over 53.5 receiving yards. And let me explain that to you.
Prop Beaver, real quick before you go into that, just letting you know the line it's at 6.5 for Ravens Jets. So that's a big difference.
Oh yeah, my bad. I'm still adjusting here. It's an early morn for the fella.
No, it's cool.
So,
I'll just change it when we're done or whatever.
Yeah,
So let's hear your props.
all right. So the reason I got Elijah Moore going over 4.5 receptions and 53.5 yards is because when Joe Flacco is on the field, there is just one man that guy looks at, and that is Elijah Moore. In his only full start with Elijah Moore last season, Moore had 8 receptions, 11 targets, and 140 plus yards with a touchdown against that Miami secondary. So that's quite impressive. And then when Joe Flacco came in against the Buffalo Bills in relief of Mike White on just one last drive, what does Joe Flacco do? He throws the ball 3 times. Where does that ball go? Elijah Moore, 4 receptions, 43 yards, touchdown. Every time Flacco's on the field, he's looking towards Moore. We saw towards the end of last season that they were scheming Moore open, and I anticipate that they try and do the same thing today. I mean, if the angle is that the Jets do get blown out, then wouldn't they have to pass the ball quite a bit? I just think that these numbers are really low for the main receiver in a game where it's going to be a blowout.
I can get on board with that.
Yep.
All right, let's cruise on to the next one. Eagles at Lions. Simple. Put me down, AJ. Put me down for the Birds. The line is up to. Is it 5.5 now, or is it still 5? Let me look. It's up to 5.5 now. Don't care. Still laying it. As long as it's less than 7, I'm laying it pretty confidently. I'll let Sean talk about this one because he's an Eagles fan. But yeah, there's so much money in on Detroit because of Hard Knocks. People watch Hard Knocks, they see Dan Campbell, they get high. I don't know where is all the upside on this Detroit team. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah. Look, I'm an Eagles fan. Obviously, you can fucking tell by what I'm wearing. But if you listen to the Green Zone the past few years when I've been doing it, I fade the Eagles quite often. I don't just blindly bet the Eagles just because I'm an Eagles fan. I'm a bigger fan of money than I am the Eagles. But this game isn't going to be close. The Eagles walked into Detroit last year, walked out with a 44-3 victory. They were a 3-point favorite then, won by 41. You could outline this to Eagles minus 14. It's still going to get covered. The people watch Hard Knocks and got this delusion. The Lions still suck. Jared Goff is 0-3 straight up and against the spread versus the Eagles in his career. The Eagles have the quarterback advantage, the offensive line advantage, the defensive line advantage, the linebacker advantage, the secondary advantage, and the coaching advantage. Dan Campbell is a great motivational speaker. I don't know if he's a good football coach. I'm being dead serious. Like, people watch Hard Knocks here and make a couple good speeches. It ain't it. I've never seen him actually do some type of coaching to where he has to make adjustments and shit. You can put your life on the Birds today.
Your life? Did you just say?
Life. I'm personally putting my kidney on it.
So what do you win if you win a bet of your life? Like,
that's a good question. The odds have to be plus on that, right?
Yeah, you would think. You're on the Birds too, AJ. It looks like.
Yeah. I mean, at first I thought this was a little sus because it didn't look like they were moving the line much, and I could not have been any more confused. But now that I've seen that it's gone from 3.5 to 4 to 5, and now all the way up to 5.5, I mean, I think that the book smartened up a little bit there. I really like fading the Hard Knock teams always, every single year, because they always get a boost.
People watch Hard Knocks and get stupid.
And this could honestly be the dumbest boost of them all. I get the hype around this Lions offense. I truly think that it's there. I mean, they have some steps to take. They need a new quarterback. But position group-wise and with the offensive line, they're quite good. But Jesus Christ, man. Do we forget that there's a defense in Detroit that was just about dead last in everything last year? And who did they bring in? They brought in Aiden Hutchinson, cool, but you're getting Jeff Okudah back, who's solid, but didn't look great in action last year. And then Aurorier at the other side at corner. I don't know. This Lions defense doesn't scare me.
Trey Flowers too.
I anticipate Philly doing whatever they want. I'd love to go sharp, but makes no sense to me here.
Also, the Lions are gonna be missing their starting guard Halapoulivaati Vaitai. and their
Damn, you
center
just
Frank
nailed
Ragnow
that
is
name, bro.
probably questionable.
You just nailed that name, bro. Like,
I've never
Yeah, he's a
hammered it
former
home.
Eagle. And any opportunity I get to say that name, I'll say.
I've never heard such crisp pronunciation in my entire
Yo,
life.
he nailed it, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's cruise on to the next one. We do have 11 more, so Saints at Falcons. I'm ended up being on my own island here with the Saints. I'm gonna lay the 5.5. And I was on the Falcons for most of the offseason, like without locking in any picks. I had said a number of times, like, yo, I like the Falcons as a dog in week 1. But then I started looking at it, and other than there's one matchup that is favorable to the Falcons. We know the Saints loaded up on wide receivers, and we know they couldn't run the ball last year, right? And the Falcons have really good corners. So it's almost like the Falcons have a strength in an area that the Saints are going to need. The Saints are going to need to throw the ball because they can't run it, or at least they couldn't last year. The thing is, other than that, it's hard to find any positives for this Atlanta team. If this line was like 9.5, 10, maybe we could talk, but there's just no numbers that back it here. And I'm not even big on the Saints at all this year. I think I have them at 8 and 9 or something like that, maybe 9 and 8. But the Falcons, it's just hard. This offense is brand new. Never played a game together against the Dennis Allen-led Saints defense that's been elite for like a half a decade. I can't get there. I'm going to lay the 5.5 with the Saints. Why don't I see Saints like right here?
Because I'm doing it all at the same time because there's an issue. But I'm keeping the issue under the table. Thank you for bringing it up.
Okay, yeah. I'm a little upset you even mentioned the issue. No longer under the table.
Yeah.
You see this? So they're both the Falcons. So tell us why.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go AJ, but mine's going to be quick. Honestly, this is probably not going to make my final ticket. That's going to be posted on the website and the app later. It's a division game, and it's hard week 1. I really feel like dogs in division games are valuable, especially earlier in the season. The Saints, obviously, Dennis Allen has done a great job as a coordinator. It's going to be his first year as head coach, and I don't know if I want to see how this looks here. I know Mariota's reuniting with his former coordinator in Tennessee and Arthur Smith, and I think Mariota is actually a pretty serviceable quarterback, but the reason why this is not going to make my final ticket, though, is Drake London, the first-round pick for the Falcons, is basically just him and Kyle Pitts or that entire Falcons offense, and London's list questionable, so I'm not going to back the number team who's their number 2 option and their only option outside of Kyle Pitts, where he's not 100% healthy, versus a defense that I expect to be very solid this year. Gun to my head, I'm taking the Falcons, but it's probably not going to make my final ticket.
Yeah, so I had the Falcons up because I was doing Sean's. I'm with the Saints here. Ultimately, what it came down to is I've been listening to a bunch of podcasts and stuff this weekend, prep for the season, and it seems like everybody who's recapping the slate loves the Falcons as like this ultimate sharp play that like nobody's ever thought of, like, oh, division rival at home, like you got to bet them, all this stuff like that. And honestly, I see some of their points, but at the very same time, I mean, even with like a Trevor penning out, even with CJ Gardner-Johnson just traded to the Falcons, this Saints team is so much more talented than the Falcons. And while I actually do like the Falcons season outlook, I think they're a lot better than people think they are. I just don't know if it's going to come together in week 1. I think that's a really big ask of an offense that's so young. You got first-time starter, obviously, and Drake London coming to the league, and he didn't really get to practice this week. I mean, I don't know. It's just too fishy. I really think that the Saints apply some pressure, get to Marcus Mariota, and we see a Saints cover here. Yeah.
It isn't Marcus Mariota is reunited with the oh my god, I forgot his name.
Arthur Smith,
yeah. All right.
Oh boy.
Like I said, I would take the Falcons, but I would need probably 7 to actually make the window.
Arthur Smith's like a father to you, Kyle.
No, he's not. All right, Steelers is next.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith. Um,
Yeah, real quick in the comments, he said anybody see Adrian Peterson get knocked out? Did anybody watch that last night?
He
No,
got
what-
smoked.
dropped
He
him in
got
their celebrity boxing
smoked
match,
like
knocked
a
him out in the
black
fifth
and
round.
mild.
oh, that you were showing me that on your phone, right, AJ?
Yeah, bro. He actually got busted.
You said Adrian Peterson?
Yeah, and Le'Veon Bell knocked out Adrian Peterson with a jab.
I'm pretty sure you said when you showed me it that was Antonio Brown, AJ.
Nah, you're tripping, fam.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't care about those like stupid celebrity boxing matches. I don't even get them. Anyway, so for this one, I'm on Pittsburgh for sure. I just think I said it in the video last night, and I don't want to just repeat myself, but I really think Cincinnati is going to be a better team in the second half of the season than they are in the first half. It's not often that you have an offensive line with 3 of the 5 pieces being new, and they just step onto the field and are all of a sudden good. Takes some time to mesh that together. Also, Cincinnati as a whole has gotten overvalued. They went to the Super Bowl, which was dope. I'm not taking that away from them, but let's be real. It's not like they were just steamrolling teams on their way. They almost got beat by the Raiders. Then the Titans gave them the game, and then they almost got beat by the Chiefs. A lot of people were like, what was that, 42-36 overtime game in there? So what I'm saying is when you go to a Super Bowl, and this is true for most teams, not just the Bengals, there's a bit of luck involved. Let's look at the Bengals team last year for what it was. They were 10-7. They were a solid team on the come up. So I think they could go maybe 10-7, 11-6 this year. I think they'll be better, but it's not like they were the AFC champions, but I don't think anyone would be like, this is the best team in the AFC or even close to it. Division game, and I'm getting almost a full touchdown. I'm not a big Mike Tomlin guy, but he does have he's a staple in Pittsburgh. I'll say that much. I'll take the Steelers plus 6.5. I'm backing. I never thought I would get to bet Mitch Trubisky again, and I get to today.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you on the Steelers. But
Hold on.
Big Mike Tomlin guy.
Hold on. We strictly do 80s Joel music here, sir. Someone said play something from the stranger. All right. How am I not a Tomlin guy? Because he sucks, bro. I mean, he's just like a placeholder. He got the defensive play calling taken from him. He got the defensive game planning taken from him. He doesn't touch the offense. What does the dude literally do? But anyway, go on.
He's a CEO.
No, the front office has been running that organization for a half a century.
Yeah, no, I agree. They have one of the better front offices in football, including one of the best ownership groups as well. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm on the Steelers here. Give me almost a full touchdown here in the division game early in the season. I just said that's a valuable spot when I talked about the Falcons-Saints game. And yeah, I'm with you. I think the Bengals, everybody's getting a little out of hand here with the Bengals. Like, Joe Burrow is not a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. I know he went to the Super Bowl, but the guy was responsible for like 6 touchdowns in 5 playoff games last year, or 4 playoff games last year. Like, not exactly setting the world on fire. That defense, I think, played above their heads that entire playoff run. And these teams were actually closer than people think last year. The Bengals were 17th in DVOA, which is by far the worst finish of a team to ever make the Super Bowl ever. And the Steelers were 23rd, so they were only a few places behind the Bengals last year. And I think they got an upgrade at quarterback. You get money Mitch Trubisky in there over the corpse of Ben Roethlisberger. And then their defense should be better with the additions of Miles Jack. Didn't really lose a lot. Give me almost a full touchdown here. I'm all over the Steelers.
Now, I do have to bring up the fact that they have updated the odds. It's at 7.5. Would you take the 7.5 points?
100%.
You make
but
that.
I don't know why that line would have moved like that unless some.
Money's 50-50. I was just looking at it on action, so that definitely is a bit weird.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
there's no injuries on like Pittsburgh or something.
Bro, that had just happened because I looked at. Oh my God! Let's see if I can pick up on what time it moved. Let me open up my NFL worksheet here.
All right. In the meantime, I'll explain why I like the under in this game. Because I actually think it has a ton of value. So let's just say we are going the sharp angle here. and that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to have more success than people think here. Well, the only way they're going to possibly do that is with an under, because this offense simply is not efficient. They were, I think, bottom 3 in rush efficiency last year. Not only was Najee Harris not the best runner overall, but the fact that he just simply couldn't get to the line of scrimmage before some dude touched him didn't help him as well. Bengals rush defense largely remains intact. I expect them to assert their dominance here. The only real way I see where the Steelers could win this game is in the pass game, and I'm just not there with Mitch Trubisky yet. I know we know what Mitch Trubisky is, but like, I don't know. The only thing that would make me want to bet Pittsburgh here is the Super Bowl loser curse that happens to somehow magically happen every year. I mean, the person who lost the Super Bowl is 4-18 against the spread in week 1 the following season. But I don't know. I just have a feeling that this Bengals core, because of how young it is with Joe Burrow as the young quarterback and the flexibility that gave them in the offseason to acquire some pieces, I don't know. I think they really could break some trends here this season, but we'll see. Going with the under.
I pulled up my scraper runs every 6 hours. At 3 a.m. this morning, it was 6.5. At 9 a.m., it was 7, and now it's at 7.5. So this has all happened within the last 6 or 7 hours.
Jesus.
As far as the line movement goes.
Jesus Christ.
That's terrifying. Honestly, like, I already gave out Steelers in a YouTube video and here, but like in my head, part of me is like, yo, I might low key like lay the 7.5 on the side. No, I'm on the Steelers, but like that scares the shit out of me. Not gonna lie. Next game.
Pats Dolphins.
I want to take the Patriots plus 3.5 so bad, but I can't. I can't. Bill Belichick struggles in Miami, and then if you just look at these teams, look at them from last year, look at them from this year, like who got better, who got worse. I think the Patriots got significantly worse, and the Dolphins got significantly better. Yeah, I know you add Melvin Ingram and Tyreek Hill and Terron Armstead. You're not like a Super Bowl contender all of a sudden, but I think the Dolphins are a much, much better football team than the Patriots, and we get them at home. And this Dolphins team beat the Patriots in week 1 last year, didn't they? Did they beat them last year in week 1? I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I believe I did.
Yeah, I'm backing the Dolphins for sure. I'm laying the 3.5, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Miami minus 3.5 as well. I mean, everybody wants to mention the coaching discrepancy between Mike McDaniel and Bill Belichick, but what about the goddamn talent discrepancy? In terms of an offseason, it could not have been more polar opposite for these two franchises. Miami brings in Tyreek Hill. They bring in an exciting head coach, Mike McDaniel. They bring in a plethora of running backs to form this speedy committee. And you bring Terron Armstead to shore up that line. The Patriots lose all-pro corner J.C. Jackson. They lose what is it? I don't know if he's ever all-pro, but definitely a Pro Bowl guard in Shaq Mason. And then you lose Josh McDaniels, your OC, for most of your title run and most of your career. And now you've got Joe Judge, absolute stud, and sexy man himself, Matt Patricia, running the offense. I mean, that's just simply a goddamn nightmare. Bill Belichick is 9-13 at Miami. I'm going to take Miami to cover the spread here. It's going to be a very close game. This is going to be a very tight cover.
To respond to new coach versus Belichick, yeah, it is a new coach in Mike McDaniels, but it's the same defensive coordinator that blitzes the shit out of Belichick that beat him twice last year. How many points did the Patriots score on the Dolphins defense last year? 16 and 24. So 24 is not bad, but they went 0-2 against the Dolphins last year, and I think the Dolphins got significantly better.
What's your take, Sean?
He's on the Pats.
I'm gonna have to go grab my sunscreen because I'm on an island here. Give me the Patriots plus 3.5. I really like it, honestly. I feel like all this Patriots stuff that's been coming out this offseason, the offense is like uncoordinated and it's in shambles. The players don't like the system. So you're telling me the most organized and greatest coach of all time doesn't have a coordinated offense going on right now in camp? I think that's all blown out of proportion. Give me the Patriots plus 3.5. Yeah, they lost J.C. Jackson, but this defense was very good last year. Matt Jones hopefully taking the sophomore leap. And then after this game, everybody's going to be asking themselves, where were you during the Devontae Parker revenge game?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say not one fucking person is going to ask that.
Not one
But
person
also-
in
but
recorded
also-
history has ever uttered such a statement.
But also, Bill Belichick versus rookie head coach, I believe AJ told us is like 57-18 all time.
I think it's like 54-13, but still
54
disgusting
and 13,
record.
okay. So,
Still
give me the Patriots
disgusting
plus
record.
points here.
All right, this is everybody's favorite game on the card.
Yes,
Get
Is
I'm
it?
ready to talk about this one.
Oh, my God. This is at, AJ, this is at a full 3 points now.
Okay.
Give me Jags plus 3. Jesus Christ. Ugh.
You sound pumped, dude. You sound pumped?
I mean, I think everyone can agree that the Jags are going to take a step forward this year. That's not a hot take. Almost everyone says that. And I agree with it. Oh, God. I do like Brandon Scherf and Christian Kirk there. I like the way that the program is heading, for sure. And I'm going to take him here in week 1. I hate it, though. Is this team going to come out in week 1 and then all of a sudden be a completely different football team than they were last year? Probably not, but they're playing Washington. So, and here's why this is a tough one, because I'm a bit of a Carson Wentz apologist. He got ripped apart last year. He threw like 27 touchdowns and 6 picks or some shit like that. He had a decent year, and people act like he was awful last year. So I think that Washington actually upgraded from Heineke to Carson Wentz, as much as people don't want to admit that. Obviously, Carson Wentz starting over him, but no Chase Young for Washington, obviously. I'm siding with the heavy public here. Everyone's on Jacksonville. Everyone's on the Jacksonville futures. It's square as hell, but I'm on the Jags. Give me Jacksonville plus 3.
What are you thinking, Sean?
Yeah, again, personally, this game is probably not going to make my final ticket. But I said that all week, if this game got back to 3, which is what it opened at, I believe, if this game got back to 3, I would be on the Jaguars. Here, just a toss up. So honestly, if Washington was plus 3, I would probably take the 3 with them. I just think the plus points with these two teams is the valuable side. I'm totally in agreement with Kyle. People act like Carson Wentz is fucking like, I don't even know, like Matt Barkley or something like that.
I know.
Actually, he had a terrible game the final week of the season versus the Jacksonville Jaguars to miss the playoffs, but he played pretty well last year. 27 touchdowns, 7 picks, over almost like 3,500 yards passing. Like, and that's what he's done consistently his whole career for the most part, outside of that final season with the Eagles, where he was a turnover machine. He's been consistently 27, 30 touchdowns and like 7 or 8 picks a season. So he's a serviceable quarterback. But you got Trevor Lawrence on the other side. They signed Brandon Scherf actually from the Commanders in the offseason to bolster that offensive line. I almost said DJ Chark. Christian Kirk in there. They lost DJ Chark. Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram in there. And then, of course, my Super Bowl winning head coach, Doug E.P. I got to take the points with the Jags.
Yeah, that's like exactly how I feel. Seriously.
Yeah, so, I mean, this game is a laptop game. I said it on the Green Zone. Absolute laptop game. It's piss poor. It is. It's a piss poor display of football that these people have to watch. Feel bad for them. This one sucks. It's like you wanna. The sharp side of me wants to go with Washington here, but then I like think about the team, and I'm just like, where do they have this big edge over the Jaguars? And I'm just not seeing it in any facet. I mean, if we're talking about pass rush, if we're talking about secondary offense, like they're kind of just like the same mush team. And one of the teams is getting plus 3 points. And one of the teams pimped out Carson Wentz ass last year twice. So now they face him a third time. Maybe he has a little, I don't know, he's seen some ghosts out there from the last matchup.
PTSD?
Yeah, a little PTSD. I have to go with the Jags here. I hate how public it is. Blech.
Did you just imply that the Jacksonville defense gives someone PTSD?
Yeah,
He
Carson Wentz.
also
He's a
said that they pimp people out.
dude.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
Carson Wentz looked like a silly boy out there last year against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Actually, looked like David Carr on a stretch. All right.
Next game plays. Wow, I'm so tired. I need like another Red Bull or something.
I'm taking the fattest nap after this. It's gonna be
The
ridiculous.
fattest nap. No, I can't. My friends are coming over in like 40 minutes. No
And
time to nap.
And you got a ticket to post.
Yeah, but it's already done. I pretty much just have to post it. All right, 49ers at Bears. Another one that I put on YouTube. Okay, so I know that there's some sharp money on Chicago. I wanted to be part of that sharp money. I wanted to be standing amongst you. But I really need to know, if you're betting the Bears, where are you seeing a strength here? Where's the mismatch that you like? Because for the life of me, I can't find it. What do we know about Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers? They run the shit out of the ball, usually a nice dynamic zone blocking scheme. Now they have Trey Lance, just ants, rushing attack. Bears were terrible last year against the run, and then they lose Akeem Hicks, who, next to Roquan Smith, probably the most important run-stopping piece on that defense. What the hell? I like Justin Fields. I usually root for Ohio State, so I'm a Justin Fields guy. I'm not seeing where the angle is. I love going sharp. I love fading the favorite and fading the public. But in this game, in order for me to do that, I need to be able to find at least a couple numbers that back me. I can't just go off of like, hey, everyone's betting the 49ers, let's bet in the Bears. I can't just do that if I can't find anything. Bottom line, Bears are a run-first football team, especially when Justin Fields is in the game. 49ers front seven is vicious as shit. And the 49ers are a run-first football team, and the Bears can't stop shit. I think the time and possession in this game might be like 40-20 in favor of San Francisco. I'm definitely laying the points, whether it's 6.5, whether it's 7. I think it's 6.5 right now. Let me go check. Yep, 6.5. Definitely some sketchy line movement, just like in the.
It's good. It's because Kittle's probably going to be out, most likely.
Yeah, but like, I think the 49ers could beat the Bears with less than 10 passing attempts. It's like, I'm not worried at all about Kittle. I like Kittle, but all over. Give me San Francisco minus 6.5 AJ.
Yeah, so for this game, I have 2 bets. So I would be betting San Francisco minus 6.5 lighter. And then more heavily, I'd be betting the under at 40. This game reeks of an under to me. First of all, the weather is horrible in Chicago right now.
Is that true? Is that true?
Yes, it is true. And have you seen Soldier Field? It is a misery of a place to play football. So, not going to anticipate a lot of passing in this one whatsoever. And another thing is, I don't know if I think Trey Lance could be very good this year, and I think the offense is going to go off. But I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen early in the season, nevertheless, week 1. Bears do have somewhat still a formidable defense. Where I really think the 49ers get to them is in the run game constantly. I think we actually see Trey Lance get a nice amount of carries today. I'm about to look into his rush attempts. But overall, don't think there'll be much scoring. And another thing I look at is the fact that the Bears, I truthfully don't know how they're going to score unless Trey Lance hands them a touchdown with a pick six or a fumble or something like that. I really don't see much going right for this Bears offense week 1. I understand Justin Fields looks good in the preseason, but that's the preseason. And the 49ers absolutely demolished him last year. They know how to play him. This is a scary matchup for Justin Fields and the Bears.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you guys. I'm laying the points with the 49ers. The Bears have had the worst offensive line in the NFL last year. Gave up the most sacks in the league. Even with a mobile quarterback like Justin Fields, they still gave up the most sacks in the league. And I don't think this line got any better in this offseason. I have no reason to believe that they're just going to come out and actually protect him today or this year at all. And I'm a big believer in Trey Lance. I love the fact that he's with Kyle Shanahan. He's going to build an offense around his skill set. He's going to get to show off a little bit. Big Trey Lance believer. Definitely laying the points here with the Bears. And it's not even a bet so much on Trey Lance or the 49ers offense. It's just 49ers defense. Like, you're going to have Nick Bosa going up against a rookie most likely. And then Arik Armstead down the line, Javon Kinlaw on the D-line. Fred Warner is probably one of my favorite linebackers in the NFL right now. Dude, super special, flies all over the field. Like AJ said, I don't know how the Bears score.
If you're going to bet Nick Bosa to win Defensive Player of the Year, I would bet it before this game because it is going to be a massacre.
Because he's going to record 4.5 sacks today?
Yeah, I mean, I got to see if they even offer the sacks as a prop. I looked last night and it didn't seem like they did, but if they do, I'm
They definitely do. They might not have them up right now, but they definitely do.
Yeah, 1.5 sacks. If that's at plus money, might actually throw a kidney at it.
Yo, what's with this new phrase? Is that a thing? People betting kidneys? I don't find it funny.
Oh, that's cool. That's fine that you don't find it funny. I don't find you funny. I think you smell. All right, on to the
next. Yo, this one, I'm on the Panthers. AJ, you could type that up for me. Punch that in. For me, this is one of those games where you choose the lesser of two evils. Do I trust Baker Mayfield against Myles Garrett and this Browns defense? Hell no. Absolutely not. But I can't put my money on Jacoby Brissett either. I liked Brissett a few years ago, but in his recent play, he really looks like he's falling off a little bit. And it's going to be one of those games where if I go sharp, right, and fade the public and take the Browns, if the Panthers are up 17-3 early, or if the Panthers have a big lead, I'm going to be kicking myself. Why the hell did I bet Jacoby Brissett? I knew it. Meanwhile, if I bet the Panthers and the Browns are winning, I can at least live with myself and all right, well, this is a tough one to call. I couldn't back Brissett. So I will feel better about losing on the Panthers than I would about losing on the Browns. That's for sure.
Okay. I'm going with CMC over 14.5 rush attempts, and I'm going with over 65.5 rush yards. And the main reason that I really like this matchup today is because if you're looking at how these two teams match up, if there's one clear advantage for this Carolina offense, it's the fact that they have none other than Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. Now, everybody knows that Christian McCaffrey is a godly catcher of the ball, but the Browns are actually fantastic at limiting receiving work out of the backfield. I believe they were 5th in DVOA, 5th in yards allowed, and 5th in receptions allowed to the running back position. I decided to just focus on in between the tackles. I really think that's where the biggest weakness is in this Browns defense. And if you look at the end of last season, I mean, this team was getting absolutely carved on the ground. So during the weeks of 10 to 17, the Browns were just 2-5, and as a group, opposing running backs had 876 yards and were averaging 5.09 yards per carry. They were getting 24 attempts about 146 yards. I projected that to Christian McCaffrey, and they go well over this total. Christian McCaffrey always goes off in week 1, and if there's ever a time to bet Christian McCaffrey, it is week 1 before he gets hurt. Bet on Christian McCaffrey.
I love it. My fantasy team would love that as well.
Yeah, so would mine.
But opened at plus 2.5 with the Browns. I really thought points were valuable, so I sprinkled the Browns plus 2.5 at the opener. So now that it's down here, do I want to switch and try to find a middle with the Panthers? But I'm not gonna do it. I still think the Browns are the side in this game. Outside of quarterback, they have the advantage, in my opinion, at every position. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt at least wash Christian McCaffrey as a matchup wise. Receivers, maybe I'll give the slight edge to the Panthers with DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, with the Browns having Amari Cooper and basically Donovan Peoples-Jones. That's it. But the Browns D-line is a total mismatch for this Panthers offensive line, and then this Browns defense is very elite as well. I know Baker's motivated, wants to have a big performance, but I just don't think there's a recipe there for him to do that this game. So I don't know if this is going to make the final ticket, but it's going to be Browns or nothing for me.
Yo, AJ, I was eating my breakfast, but I heard it in my ear. Your point about the Browns getting torched on the ground towards the end of last year is definitely true, but also they were riddled with injuries in the second half of last year. Just being fair. I'm on the Panthers, just being fair to mention that.
Yeah, but I
Who
look
has
at
more sacks today? Nick Bosa or Myles Garrett?
Bosa.
Probably Bosa. I just don't think. I think Justin Fields holds on to the ball longer too.
Yeah.
All right, Indy versus Houston.
Yo, it's 8 years in a row Colts have lost week 1, right? 8.
Yep. Including an opening week loss to the eventual 1-15 Jaguars.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm on Houston +7 here. I think this defense is way better than people think. I'm not going to say it's great, but I think it's way better than people think. And I don't think Matt Ryan is a huge upgrade over Wentz. I think it probably is an upgrade, but I don't think it's a huge upgrade. I mean, Matt Ryan hasn't looked great in Atlanta. I think we're going to see pretty similar Colts team than what we saw last year. So why not bet for the similar thing to happen? I'll take the 7 points. I'm not going to come out here and say Houston beats them, but I'll take a touchdown.
I remember last year when it was week 1, it was Jacksonville versus Houston, and everybody and their mother had their Jacksonville tickets ready, and I said, but not I. Not I. I will stand with Ty God Taylor against the Tide, and I will ride with the Texans, and I'm doing so with Mills Mafia here today. As Kyle said, the Colts have never heard of how to win a first week game. Matt Ryan, everybody's sucking off Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan, I watched Matt Ryan last year. What the hell was so incredible? Where was it? Where were these great passes? I mean, Russell Gage was one of the best receivers at beating man coverage last year and barely got the ball. So, I mean, now that you really just have Michael Pittman and nobody else on the outside, like, I'm not truly all that scared of this team. And, I mean, the Texans, if they do have anything, they have some decent corners. They have Derek Stingley, and they also have another guy. I'm blanking on his name right now. But that would be the strength of their defense. So, I don't know. I'll take the points. Screw it.
I love what you just said. Where were all the great passes from Matt Ryan last year? Because that's how I felt. Like, where were all those dimes? Like, I must have missed them. I mean, I'm not even a Matt Ryan hater or anything, but, like, dude definitely wasn't elite last year. What are we talking about?
They were few and far between.
Yeah, for sure. If I had to bet a side in this game, it would definitely be taking the points with the Texans. Just a quick couple notes. Like Kyle already mentioned, the Colts haven't won a opening game in 8 years. They even lost to the 1-15 Jaguars. The year they only won one game. But this game was a double-digit spread both times they met last year. And the Colts covered easily. I think they outscored the Texans like 62-3 total for the two matchups. But I think both teams are improved this year. But I think the Texans are a little more improved than the Colts are. But my favorite bet in this game is the over 45.5. These two teams met last year, and it was 45.5 and 46. So you're going to tell me these two teams are not in a better position to put up more points this year with Mills coming into his second season, Colts a slight upgrade at quarterback, and a healthy offensive line for the moment right now. The Texans added Dameon Pierce, get Brandon Cooks back healthy, and then, like I said, Mills second year in the offense. Both teams in a more set up for success, in my opinion, in this game. So you're going to give me the same totals that you gave me last year. I think this game doesn't fly over the total, but I don't think we're sweating it either.
Yeah, I firmly agree. One thing I would also just look at prop-wise is, I know I'm betting the Texans, but Jonathan Taylor has ripped the Texans a new asshole the past 2 years. I think over 98.5 rushing yards is not a bad play here.
I have to go Chargers here. I'm not loving that it's at 3.5, but I completely get why it is. All right, so the Raiders bring on Devontae Adams, and all right, so I think if you just take these two teams next to each other, right? I think at plus 3.5, the value might be on the Raiders, but this week one, this season, there's so much expectations on this Chargers team, and I know a lot of times that can result in a negative. I think it results in a positive. I think this Chargers team truly believes that they're the best football team in the NFL. Justin Herbert coming in with all the confidence in the world. I mean, a lot of people are saying this dude's already the best quarterback in the league. Again, I know some people aren't. I'm just saying there's people out there that are saying that. J.C. Jackson doubtful for the Chargers in this game, which sucks because I know a lot of people are excited to watch him play first game with this defense. But for me, I'm just pumped to see Khalil Mack on one side and Joey Bosa on the other. That is insane. Chargers also might be without one of their linebackers, by the way, Tranquil. He's questionable, so I don't even know if he's playing or not, but wanted to mention that. For me, I'm just backing Justin Herbert because I've been big on the Chargers since last season ended. Before they even signed Khalil Mack or J.C. Jackson, I was big on the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to have a great season, and I think they start off with a touchdown win over division rival Raiders.
Yeah, so I could not be bigger on the Chargers this season, and honestly, I could not be more down on the Raiders due to not what they did in the offseason, but the hype around them. Yes, I get it. It's sexy to bring in Chandler Jones and Devontae Adams, and now you have the three-headed monster of Renfro, Waller, Devontae. You got Carr at quarterback returning. Everything's all good. But we have to remember that there's other positions in the game of football, and the Raiders' offensive line is absolutely dreadful. One of the worst units in the entire league. Now you got them going against Joey Bosa, Kyle Van Noy, Khalil Mack. There's going to be a lot of guys rushing them, offering pressure. I don't know if that Derek Carr is going to get the best looks to pass in this game. And then on top of that, the Raiders secondary, I'm just overall not impressed with. They just traded their starting quarterback, Trayvon Mullen, like the other day, which was bizarre. And then they take away from an already really lackluster secondary and also a linebacker group as well. I think the Chargers are loaded all around. I think this is probably, in my opinion, the most complete team this year outside of the Bills. I'm going to take them week 1 to smack up the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you too. I'm on the Chargers as well. I'm going to hold out, though, and hope some Raider money comes in and let me get a 3 with the Chargers, but I would lay the 3.5 if it still holds. The Chargers are one of the most improved teams, in my opinion. They're hopefully getting a healthy Derwin James, who, in my opinion, is the best safety in football. He just can't stay healthy. But they added Khalil Mack. Now he's going to be playing opposite Joey Bosa, J.C. Jackson at corner to pair with Asante Samuel Jr. This defense is absolutely loaded this year, and I can't wait to see how they perform. And then Justin Herbert is super special at quarterback, throwing to Mike Williams and Keenan Allen as well, a top 5 route runner in football. And I'm with AJ. I don't like this Raiders secondary. I thought this team as a whole played over their heads last year and were overachieved, in my opinion. I don't think their O-line is really that good either, but they played pretty well last year. So I think we see some regression there. And again, I'm not a believer in their defense, just like AJ pointed out. So it would be Chargers or nothing here for me.
To respond to the comments, I bet the Raiders in Week 18, and I bet them against the Bengals in the playoffs. Put it on YouTube too. So you're literally in the comments looking like a moron.
I just wanted to add over as well because J.C. Jackson is indeed out, and I do kind of worry about Devontae Adams on the outside without any real threat at cornerback to guard him. I think we see the Chargers defense really come together down the stretch, not so much week 1, and I overall really don't like the Raiders defense. So, all right,
next game. Vikes without a doubt. By the way, Vikings are laying points now. They're favorites.
Holy tits.
Yep, as of this morning, they're -1.5. Good. Books agree with me. All over the Vikes here. I love Kirk. I think Kirk Cousins is a solid quarterback. I think he might be high-end top 5 quarterback, low-end top 10. I mean, you look at this dude's numbers. This Vikings team, as I said in the YouTube video that we uploaded last night, this Vikings team was 8-9 last year. 8 of their 9 losses were 1-score losses. Team easily could have been 11-6 or 12-5. Take that team from last year. Patrick Peterson missed time. Eric Kendricks missed time. Harrison Smith missed time. Daniel Hunter missed the entire season. Everyone's healthy. They have a clean bill of health. Now you have Daniel Hunter back because he missed the whole season on one side, and then Zadarius Smith rushing on the other side. I think
they stole from the Packers.
Yeah, absolutely. Revenge spot for Zadarius Smith. I think they could have one of the best defenses in football. And then what's all going on with their offense? Oh, yeah, that's right. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Kirk Cousins. I think the Vikings have a good shot of winning the NFC this year.
And Herb Smith is a sleeper at tight end.
People like Herb. One of my boys is a diehard Vikings fan. He goes out to Minnesota every single year, and
dude, and you look forward to that game, right?
And I get pumped for the Vikings games because of him. So yeah, Vikings, definitely on the Vikes.
Yeah, that was a dope story you just said. It must be true too. Guys, Vikings.
AJ, I hate when you do this. REC is receptions. You don't have to write receptions out.
Dude, maybe you could have some class and not yell at me on the show while I'm producing it. Maybe we can think about that. Yeah, so I'm going with Aaron Jones over 4.5 receptions. There's no Allen Lazard in this game today. Aaron Rodgers' best two options on the outside are Christian Watson, who he didn't get to practice with this year, and has been outspoken about the fact that he doesn't trust rookie wide receivers, and Sammy Watkins, who honestly could have a really nice game here just because Sammy Watkins does that once a year. But I really think the bulk of the targets are going to go to Aaron Jones. We saw them run a lot of 21 formation last year with just 2 running backs, 1 tight end, and in those sets, Aaron Jones was feasting on receptions. Now you take Devontae Adams out of the offense, and it really should be an all-you-can-eat buffet in terms of target share. I like that, and then I'm also going with the Vikings minus 1.5 because I bleed purple. I love the Vikings. I think Kirk Cousins is going to go off this year. I think he starts the season off right today.
I love it. Sean, you're on the Vikes?
We're all in agreement. I'm on the Vikings here. Like Kyle pointed out, I'm all over this Vikings defense. If people just want to keep talking about the offense, I love this Vikings defense. I think it's the best unit they've had since they went to the NFC Championship game a few years ago. And as AJ pointed out in his prop video, if you haven't watched that yet, stop sleeping on Kirk Cousins.
Stop the madness.
He is a legit top 10 to 12 quarterback, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. He's throwing to one of the best receivers in the league in Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne, Irv Smith, and then, of course, has Dalvin Cook in the backfield. This Vikings, and I love Kevin O'Connell. I think it's going to be a completely different offense that you've watched under Mike Zimmer, that tyrant. Now it's going to be loose and creative under Kevin O'Connell. Give me the Vikings here, minus the 1.5. And then also, quick note, if you live in Wisconsin and you own a Packers jersey, show up to Lambeau today. You're going to get some snaps.
Yo, AJ, aren't the Pack dealing with a few injuries today as well? I forgot to mention that.
I mean,
well,
they don't.
Lazard is out, and then Bakhtiari, I think, is going to play, but he's not 100%.
Dude, does that guy ever heal? He's been hurt since Obama was president.
I mean, he literally doesn't play. I don't know what Bakhtiari's deal is. All right, so we got those picks. Let's move on to Giants.
Also, I don't know, but I don't. It says Jenkins, their guard, is questionable too, but I don't know if that's a starting guard. I don't know the Packers' offensive line.
I believe that's their opposite starting tackle. He's like a guard that plays tackle.
Oh, well, isn't that nice?
Isn't that sexy?
Yo, all the money's on the Giants here. I don't. Did someone poison the water hole? Like, what's going on with the public? Yo, dude, it's one of the biggest public dogs of the day. Everyone's betting the Giants. I don't know what they're seeing. So, if you want to tell me that the Titans take a step backwards this year, I can get there with you. I will listen. I'll listen with open ears. I personally like the Titans, but like, I can see it. Right, I actually think Treylon Burks has potential to be better than A.J. Brown. Maybe not this year, but as a whole, they're actually very similar receivers, too. I like Treylon Burks a lot. But I get it. He's a rookie. He's not going to come in and be A.J. Brown right away. Yeah, the Titans' run defense is good, but I can also listen to you talk about the Titans' pass defense. They had a lack of a pass rush for a big chunk of last year. Lack of a passing game. Like, I hear you about the Titans. But as long as Daniel Jones is still playing quarterback for the Giants, I feel like enough said. I mean, This dude, just a turnover machine. I really don't feel comfortable betting Daniel Jones going on the road against a team that stops the run. So if you're betting the Giants, you're thinking Daniel Jones is going to cover this. Like, Daniel Jones is going to beat the Titans, or Daniel Jones is going to keep this close. Because the Titans' run defense is good and should be good again this year. So, I really don't know what people are seeing. I'm on Tennessee. I'm laying 5.5, fading the Giants for sure. There will be times when we can play the Giants. I just don't think this is one of them.
I think the Tennessee Titans this year are going to suck balls, but I will simply not be fading them against the Giants here. I was playing a little bit of Madden. I start franchise modes with everybody. I started with the Giants. I look at that secondary. Immediately deleted the file. That is the worst. That is the worst secondary I have ever seen. You got Adoree Jackson at the 1. I mean, he's nice, but Jesus Christ. And I would probably say that's my biggest fault with this Titans team is that they have no receivers and they allow a lot of pressure. The Giants don't put on any pressure and can't guard receivers. So it's like, this is actually a spot where the Titans can and should win comfortably. So while I hate the Titans season outlook, I mean, Jesus Christ, the Giants are brutal. Don't think they're going to put it together week 1.
That was funny as hell, bro.
And you can go ahead and put the Titans for me as well. Again, I'm with you guys. I don't love the Titans. Sauce almost kicked me and AJ out of his house on Friday because we were hating on Ryan Tannehill.
He's so ass.
But
you guys just don't appreciate winning. That's all.
I'm just not a believer in this Titans team now. I agree with Sauce. I'm a big fan of Treylon Burks. I think he's big star potential down the line. But a lot of people I feel like are betting the Giants because Brian Dabble is in, and they think for some reason they watch Josh Allen develop and then think he's going to do the same with Daniel Jones. But I'm going to do my best Lee Corso right now and say, not so fast, my friend.
Yeah, wait. Can we settle? Is it Dable or Dabble?
I think
it's Dable, right?
Know. I think it's Dable.
I don't really look it up. I've never knew how to pronounce it. I just dabble in saying his name.
I'm just dabbling it with Dabble.
But no. I mean, if you look at Brian Dabble or Dable, whatever it is, as an offensive coordinator, he hasn't had a passing attack above 26 ranking in the NFL until he got Josh Allen. He did not make Josh Allen. Josh Allen made him, and he should cut Josh Allen a check for making him a head coach in the NFL. Daniel Jones stinks, still going to stink, and they're picking a quarterback next year in the draft.
Look who has awoken from his Alaskan slumber in the comments.
The Toast.
Toast waking up after his 11-3 day, probably strutting around, thinking he's the man in Alaska.
Cock out at the household.
Plus, just meat swinging. Plus, Toast brought in over 5 units in baseball yesterday. 11-3. Good picking, my friend.
Yeah, I was told Toast with them 5 units. There's now another baby Toast on the way now.
Triplets. All right, Chiefs at Cardinals. This is where this next segment we're calling this when Sauce is a sucker. Because I am betting the cards, and I am a sucker for doing it. Because look at this line movement, man. The books are basically saying, "Go on now, take the cards. It'll be fine. Take the points. It'll be good." They keep moving the line. They're like, "Go on, I dare you to bet the cards," and I'm biting. I'm taking them. I don't trust this Kansas City defense at all. If you rewind to last year, before the Chiefs signed Melvin Ingram, I believe they were 3-5 on the year, and they were on pace to have the worst defense in NFL history, in the history of football. Yeah, they signed Melvin Ingram. Tyrann Mathieu started playing much better, and then they evened out, and then the Chiefs went to the AFC Championship. We know the end of the story. Melvin Ingram's gone. Tyrann Mathieu's gone. I don't know how anyone has any faith in this defense. Tyreek Hill's gone, and that's a loss. But I think Mahomes and Kelsey and Andy Reid, I think the offense will be all right. I really am not concerned with the Chiefs offense. I think the defense is trash. And we're early in the year. Kyler Murray is a baller weeks 1 through 8. His whole career. I would like to check if there's a double experience Call of Duty tournament going on right now. How funny is that? So, for those of you who are familiar with that, I'm sure you all are. So someone matched up Kyler Murray's game stats, game logs, with the double experience Call of Duty weekends. And when there's double experience Call of Duty, he plays like shit. So he stays up. Allegedly, he stays up playing Call of Duty all night, the night before the games when it's double experience. Who knows if there's any truth to that? But it's hilarious, nonetheless. But Kyler Murray, weeks 1 through 8, I can get behind something like that. Give me Arizona plus 6.5.
Yeah, I think exactly what you said was pretty on point. If this was week 14, I go ahead and I'll lay the 6.5 with the Chiefs. But I'm getting week 1 Kyler Murray against possibly one of the worst defenses I've ever laid my eyes upon. I don't know. I've listened to a couple podcasts this year, and I don't know what people are seeing with this Chiefs defense. Like, it got so much worse over the past season. And I think it's going to go right back to 32nd. I mean, it seems like a sucker's bet, but the over isn't a bad look either. I really don't think so. I think both these defenses got to today, but ultimately, I think 6.5 goddamn points. I'll take the Cardinals.
So you bit the hook too.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the Chiefs just don't cover the spread. Why the hell would I bet on them?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong there. Sean?
Give me the Chiefs, baby. I'm laying a 6.5 here. I can't do it. The books are begging me to take the Cardinals. I can't do it. And I'm down on the Cardinals this year. A lot of people are down on the Chiefs. I'm down on their defense, as you guys pointed out. But this offense still has Andy Reid. I grew up watching the Eagles. I watched him put up 30 points a game with Todd Pinkston and James Thrash. This Chiefs offense isn't. Tyreek Hill is going to miss this Chiefs team more than this Chiefs team is going to miss Tyreek Hill. I promise you that. But this defense is going to be bad. But this Cardinals team, I'm down on this year. I think if your books offer it, go out and place some money on Cliff Kingsbury being the first coach fired this year. I could see that happening. And then look at this rating. I mean, the Cardinals are a +6 at home week 1. You know who else is almost a touchdown dog? The Jets, the Bears, and now the Cardinals. So that's where Vegas has them rated. Their injury report is shit show. You're going to need a scroll bar if you pull it up with all the injuries the Cardinals have. And this line makes no sense. It's blown out of proportion. But that's why I have to play the Chiefs, because Vegas is begging me outside, got a filet mignon under the platter thing, begging me to take the Cardinals. I'm laying it with the Chiefs.
Did you say a flaming on under the platter thing?
You know, like when they have the silver thing, you lift it up, like, hey, get over.
Oh, right. No, I do follow what you're saying now.
Look, I'm probably gonna kill myself at 7:00 when the Cardinals lose by 3. But
what's gonna happen is the Chiefs are gonna be up 14. The Cardinals are gonna score and then go.
One of the worst teams ever against the spread, like.
Yeah, all the picks will be on the VIP. Just getting posted probably 10 minutes after we're done. So if you missed it, you're good. Don't worry. I think what happened. Chiefs are up 14 late. Cardinals score. What's his name? Wow, let's talk about the coach. It's an analytics guy. He goes for 2 and gets it. Your cover gets busted by the hook. Be hilarious. All right, Cowboys at Bucks. Sorry, Bucks at Cowboys next.
Sunday Night Football, it gets me horned.
Yo, don't ever. You can tell me and Prop Beaver have been editing videos for way too many hours. We're out of it right now.
You guys are witnessing like a 10-year-old sleepover. It's 3 a.m. right now.
It's like people like at the airport after a weekend in Vegas, like going home. Like, they're just not like 100% there. So yeah, I want to fade the Bucks, trust me, but I'm just as down on the Cowboys this year as I am on the Bucks. I like Tampa Bay's defense a lot. So yeah, we can point out that the Bucs are missing a few offensive linemen. I think all 3 interior ones. If I'm pretty sure it's all 3, right? AJ, all 3 interior linemen.
Yes.
So yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about maybe Godwin doesn't play, even though I think he might. We can talk about the Bucs offense for sure, but this defense was already good as hell. I believe they had the best run defense in the NFL last year, and they added Hakeem Hicks. What are the Cowboys aren't going to be able to run the ball for shit on this defense? Cowboys offensive line also beat up. So in my opinion, these teams are actually similar. I think there's 2 good defenses against 2 offenses that have a shitty offensive line. Offenses that might be in a little bit of a situation. Who do you trust more under duress, Prescott or Brady? Brady will throw the ball away. Prescott will get hurt or throw a pick.
I don't trust Dak in any situation.
I mean, that's unfair.
Unless they're down by 20 in the 4th, then he's gonna light it up. If
the Cowboys are down 3 touchdowns, just chalk up another 180 yards and 3 tutties for Dak because he's the master of garbage time. But no, I think both quarterbacks are going to be. I don't think either team can run the ball. Both quarterbacks are going to be under a ton of pressure. In that situation, who do you trust more, Dak or Tom Brady? And I trust Tom Brady to make the smarter plays. That's it. This isn't like a hate on the Cowboys thing. I grew up a Cowboys fan. I'm still a Cowboys fan. But I think the Bucs are the play here at -2.5. Also the under, but I was on the under, but the entire world is giving out the under. I swear, every time a channel turns on, it's somebody giving out the under for the Bucs Cowboys game. So I had removed it from my thing because I was like, damn, like I thought this was like everyone's on this.
Yeah, and
I think Sean's on it too, actually.
Here's another guy giving out the under. It is I. I don't trust either of these offensive lines, and I have a lot of respect for both of these pass rushes, so I think it's going to be a little bit of hell. The main play that I want to emphasize is Dak Prescott over 35.5 pass attempts. If this is the biggest trap of all time, then that's fine, but this number is flat out insane to me. The last time these 2 teams played last year, Prescott had 57 attempts. Now is facing a Tampa team that had the lowest opponent rush play percentage in the NFL because of how bad they clamped the run. I mean, I really think that if the Cowboys want to win this game, they have to pass the ball. I don't think 36 attempts is out of reach. I actually think it's quite low. And I'm going to take it with Prescott at home. So, yeah.
Solid. Sean?
Yeah, you can add one more guy giving out the under here. I've been on it all week. I just want to say other people are giving it out. I was on it first.
You're the first one in the world.
But no, I can't see this game getting over 50 points. Both of these O-lines are really banged up. No Tyron Smith for the Cowboys. No Ryan Jensen at center, obviously, for the Bucs. And then also missing Kappa, I believe, at guard. And their other guard as well. As you guys mentioned. But this Cowboys, I think both defenses are going to get after the quarterback. Going to be a lot of inaccurate and erratic passes. And I think it's a recipe for the under. I think this game is going to be like 20-17, somewhere around there.
20-17, who's winning?
A guy in the comments just said that only 9% of the money is on the over.
Versus Rain Dakota Prescott. I'm taking Tom Brady. And he's single now. He's about to ball out.
91% of the money's on the under. That's what you just said, AJ?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Change it. We're going over. No.
Did I say under? I meant over.
So that's brutal. And then are we gonna cap this or are we gonna leave this?
No. There's no way I could give out a pick for this. I need to see how the flow. That's it. Does anyone have a parlay or anything to give out before we close?
Unfortunately, not for this show. A little unprepared today with putting out the videos last night. Next week, I'll start though, and I'll do for the show. I'll do some TD parlays, just like 2 legs. Let's get it amped a bit, and then for the VIP, I'm gonna start doing reception parlays because I think that probably, in my mind, most resembles the K parlays, and those were doing pretty well. So
cool. I only have 2 parlays, and they're for the VIP, so I can't. I'm not giving any of those out.
Sean? I mean, I have a parlay. I don't know if you want me to just put it on the VIP ticket or give it out here.
No, you can give it out.
All right, yeah, I'll go ahead and give it out here. Well, damn, I had it pulled up and then I just lost it. 1 second.
the comments hate me because everybody asks, "Oh, do you have a parlay for us?" And every week I'm like, "No, I was doing this, I was doing that."
Yeah.
Toast is on Cowboys money line in the over.
Yeah,
He's a
AJ's
scrub.
an asshole. I'm a man of the people. I'll give out a parlay.
Yeah,
No, I'm
please.
This is gonna be super juicy, but it's week 1. Let's have some fun. This is plus 1240.
Holy Christ!
What?
I'm going to give out a 4-legger. Eagles minus 5.5. Ravens minus 6.5. The 49ers minus 6.5. And then everyone's favorite bet this week, the Chiefs minus 6.5. That's going to pay $12.40. I'm personally going to have a full unit on that because it's week 1. Let's get nuts.
Wow, that's a vicious shot you're taking there.
Toast said, not one person taking the Cowboys. You cowards. We're not cowards. We're smart.
There's a fine line between coward and idiot.
I have respect for my bankroll.
No, I mean I don't even. I think that Cowboys is actually a decent play. I don't really. I'm leaning Bucks. That game is not going to be a huge bet for me. The primetime games are always the hardest.
On Sunday Night Football, you have to.
Well, that's exactly that. But the primetime games are always the hardest. Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night are always the hardest to bet because they're so heavily covered that you can never really get a read on where. Like, yeah, we know that everyone's on the under. But as far as there's a lot of people betting the Cowboys out there. There's a lot of sharps betting the Cowboys. When the Cowboys plus 2.5 seems to be the sharp side. When are the Cowboys ever the sharp play? Almost never.
I think it's going to be a really good game either way, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, of course.
I just want them to have fun.
Leave Brittany alone.
And on that note, I have to piss so bad, so we got to close this. I really have to pee.
Okay.
So everyone enjoy your NFL Sunday. VIP ticket will be posted in 10-15 minutes on the Sauce Network app or KyleKirms.com. We're doing top 7 bets, full VIP ticket, 2 parlays of the day, and 1 dog of the day. That's what I got for you. Give me about 10-15 minutes to get that posted. Everyone, have a good one. You can hit me on Twitter. Find me on Twitter or whatever. Everyone, bet smart. Let's make some money today.